Hi, this is the voice of Heidie Calero with another fascinating economic capsule, and this time it's China pushing the limits. Don't forget, those of you who like our economic capsules, to give us a like and to subscribe under the voice of Heidie Calero in YouTube, because then you will receive alerts. You will be able to chat with us, at least to send us messages as to what topics are of interest to you, what you liked, what you disliked. Today, the first graph that I am depicting for you is China's foreign direct investment. And despite 2020 being COVID-19, the pandemic, China was number one. It's the second most powerful economy in the world, followed or close to the United States. Well, this was the number one country with $133 billion invested in different parts of the world. For instance, in the US, they invested like $7.2 billion. In Africa, they invested $44 billion. In the Caribbean and Latin America, they are forecasting that they want to invest almost $1 trillion in connecting through transit systems, railways, highways, all of Latin America and the Caribbean. Imagine that. It's the imagination is the limit for China. And China invested in its own country $6,331 billion. That is extraordinary. As I have said before, the heart of any economy has to be investment. Let's look at this second graph to depict, really to illustrate the point, why China is so big and why Puerto Rico is just trailing behind. This is since 1980. The blue line is investment in Puerto Rico as percentage of GNP in monetary prices from 1980 through 2020, and the orange line is China. So notice back in 1980, Puerto Rico was not in a depression, but it was just on the onset of the second oil shock, which was 1981, 82, 83, and Puerto Rico invested 18.5% of its GNP in 1980. Compare that with almost 36% of GDP in China. It was twice what Puerto Rico invested, and with an economy, with 1.4 billion people in and an economy of $14 trillion. Can you imagine investing almost 40% in terms of investment as part of this economy? It's incredible. Even in 2020, notice that China invested 43% in its economy as a percentage of GDP, and Puerto Rico invested only about 17% back in 2020. Now, what are some of the investment opportunities in Puerto Rico? Well, if we follow trail of what China is doing, really ambitiously, but really placing its road, its network of political influence with economic growth and economic development in different areas in the world. Well, there are some investment opportunities that are of interest to Puerto Rico, and that we have the golden opportunity now that in 2022 we expect that many of the funds that have been trickling through, they are really coming through realization of the different projects in 2022. And for those federal funds, be it from Hurricane Maria, as well as the earthquakes of January 2020, as well as for the recovery, the rescue plan of the COVID-19, and also now with the Biden infrastructure plan, part of those monies will come to Puerto Rico. So let's make good use of those monies. And some of these investment opportunities in infrastructure, which are extraordinary, in highways, let's complete in PR10 that segment at Juntas, Utuado, the PR22 from Arecibo to Aguadilla. In bridges, let's complete, let's think, out of the box. Ceiba, why not, instead of the ferry or additional to the ferry, why not build a bridge from Ceiba to Vieques? China has done it. Extraordinary. You look at some of those pictures of infrastructure and it's incredible. In ports, let's make the Ponce the transshipment port by excellence. In electricity, let's invest in our gas-fired plants in electricity, as well as for why not an underground cable? Why not in electricity coming from Florida all the way to Puerto Rico? In transport, we have let's complete the urban train. Let's go from Caguas to from San Juan to Caguas. In water, let's complete the Valenciano Dam and growth pole Roosevelt Roads, that naval base which has been wasting for the past 20 years. Yes, there are lots of opportunities if only Puerto Rico really focuses on a vision and really focuses on investment, which is at the heart of our economic growth if we want to pull out of this recession. Don't forget, the economy is all of us. Give us a like in the voice of Heidie Calero. Until then, stay safe. Thank you.